Hello friends, welcome to today's football predictions on Betcraft. Okay, today is another very beautiful Saturday morning, and as usual, so many games are going on across the globe. Amongst these many games that are happening, we're able to select a few of them. And we looked into this very few, deeply before bringing it forward for you. All right, in a short while, we'll be looking at our matches for today. But before then, a little recap of yesterday's performance. Yesterday wasn't really the best days for us, because we saw, a whole lot of upsets yesterday. Even the likes of Monaco, we saw them losing out to Angers from home. That doesn't happen, and but sometimes it does happen in football, right? Things like that. Our two tickets yesterday wasn't really the best, but today we intend to do so well, just like the previous 2 days. We tend to do very well in this one, and hopefully we're going to achieve better results in this very one. All right. In a short while, I'll be going through this matches one after the other, but I want to use the opportunity to ask those who are coming across our video for the first time to kindly take our time to hit the subscription button, especially to miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. All right, without further ado, let's get to the business of today. And today, as usual, we'll be having two tickets, and just as we've been doing successfully in the past 3 days. All right, so we'll be starting with the first match. It is in England Premier League. We'll have Bournemouth will be facing Manchester City. Okay, looking at Bournemouth on the home side, in the last 6 games that they had, I've seen them have achieved 2 victories out of those 6 matches. They've also had 1 draw as well as 3 losses in the last 6 games that they had so far. And on the other hand, the away side, Manchester City have actually won 5 games out of the last 6 matches that they had, but have also lost 1 out of those. And when you look at how they fared from home and away perspective, you can see that playing from home, Bournemouth have actually won 6 matches in the last 10 home games that they had so far. They're actually flying high. We saw them defeating the likes of Southampton, and also, the almighty Arsenal lost out. That was actually their last home match. They were able to defeat Arsenal on that occasion by 2-0. All right. They've also had 2 draws as well as 2 losses in the last 10 home matches that they had. All right. And away side, Manchester City, on the other hand, have actually won 7 matches in the last 10 away games. They've had 2 draws, but they've also lost 1, which was the last away game they had against Tottenham Hotspur. We saw them losing that match by 2-1 to Tottenham. And they'll be looking to make amends in this very one. Also, noting the fact that the head-to-head performances, the last 10 meetings for both sides, saw Man City winning all 10 head-to-head meetings against Bournemouth. And we're not going to expect anything different in this very one. And it is expected that the firepower of the away side, Manchester City, will be too much for the Bournemouth side. So it is away side to win outrightly. That's a value for that very encounter. That takes us to the next game that we have for you. It is in Egypt, Premier League, where we have Ahly, the strongest side in Africa, as far as I'm concerned, coming up against Cleopatra once again. And when you look at the recent games for Ahly, they've actually had 4 victories in the last 6 games that they have so far, and they've also had 2 draws as well. Looking at the away side in the last 6, Cleopatra have managed just a single victory, and they've also had 2 draws, but have lost 3 games in the last 6 recent games that they have so far. All right, when you look at Ahly, in how they fared from home and away perspective, you can see that playing from home, Ahly have actually won, 6 matches in the last 10 home matches that they had so far. They've lost 2, and they've had 2 draws as well. But away side, Cleopatra have managed just only 1 win in the last 10 away games that they had. They've also had 4 draws, but have lost 5 games in the last 10 away games that they played so far. And looking at the head-to-head perspective, last time both teams met, it was Ahly who won by 2-1. That was in October, in the Super Cup. And also we saw them beating this very side in July by 4-1. All right, in the Premier League as well. In the last 10 head-to-head meetings, there's always been Ahly who has actually been quite dominant of this very tie, seeing that they've won on 8 occasions out of the last 10 meetings. The other 2 being a draw. There's never been a time that away side, Cleopatra, achieved a victory against this very Ahly side, be it home or away in the last 10 meetings. So it is the home side, Ahly, that's expected to actually continue the run and win outright in this one home win. That's a verdict. That takes us to the next, which are going to be the last for the first ticket. It is in Slovakia, Super League, where we have Komarno facing Dunajski, Streda. Pardon me about the name. The names are a bit difficult to pronounce. But when we look at how these two teams fared in recent times, you can see that Komarno, the home side, have won 2 games in the last 6 matches, but they've also lost 4 out of those 6 games that they had in recent times. But away side, Dunajska, Streda have actually won 3 games. They've had 2 losses, but they've had 1 draw as well in the last recent 6 matches for their away side, Streda. And when you look at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, the home side Komarno have actually won 3 times in the last 10 home matches. They've also had 2 draws as well, and they've lost out on 5 occasions out of the last 10 home matches that they had. And the away side, on the other hand, Streda, the away side have managed to achieve 7 victories in the last 10 away games. That tells you how good this side is. And they've also had 2 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 10 away outings. That's a whole lot of 70% victory in the last 10 away victories for the away side. That shows you that this team is actually a very good one. And the last time they met was Streda who played from home on that occasion. They won by 2 goals to 0 against the Komarno. That was actually in August this year. When we put all that together, we definitely expect the away side Streda to achieve a result against this very side, against this Komarno side. So it is the away side to win or draw, but under 4.5. That's our verdict for that very game. We win or draw and under 4.5. That's what we expect. Okay, that concludes the first ticket, and go into the next ticket. It is starting with the first match. It's actually a Bundesliga match. We'll have Bayern Munich will be up against Union Berlin. Right, Bayern Munich also have won 3 games in the last 6 matches, and they've also seen 1 draw as well as 2 losses in the last 6 games that they have so far. And the other side, Union Berlin, on the other hand, have actually won 2 games. They've also had 1 draw, but have lost 3 matches in the last 6 recent games for Union Berlin, their away side. And then look at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective. Playing from home, Bayern have been quite good from home, seeing that they've actually won 8 games in the last 10 home matches. They've also had 2 draws, in the last 10 home matches. They've not lost any single match, and those 2 draws came in the match against Real Madrid and Bayern Leverkusen. All right, that's as the home side. When you look at the Union Berlin, the away side, they've actually won 3 matches as well in the last 10 away games. They've also had 3 draws, but have lost 4 matches in the last 10 away games for the away side. And when you look at performances from head-to-head perspective, you could see that it's actually Bayern Munich who has been quite dominant on this very tie, seeing that they've won on several occasions. They've actually won on 8 occasions. Okay, 7 occasions out of 10, and the other 3 being a draw. There's never been a time Union Berlin achieved a victory against this very side in the last 10 meetings for both sides. So it is the home side to win out throughout in this very one. Home win. That's what we expect. All right, that takes us to the next game of the second ticket, and it is in Portuguese League. We'll have Farense who will be facing Benfica. All right, Farense have won 2 games in the last 6 matches. They've also had 1 draw, but have lost 3 out of the last 6 games. But Benfica, on the other hand, we side have actually won 5 games out of the last 6. They've had 1 loss as well. And looking at how they fared from home and away perspective, you could see that playing from home, Farense have managed to only achieve 3 victories in the last 10 home matches, and they've also had 1 draw, but they've lost 6 games out of the past 10 home matches that they have so far. And the away side, Benfica, on the other hand, have achieved 4 victories in the last 10 away games, and they've also had 2 draws as well as 2 losses in the last 10 away games. Okay, and looking at performances from head-to-head perspective, we could see that the last time both teams met, we saw Benfica beating this very side in a club-friendly match in July by 5 goals to 0. All right, and also in April, we saw Benfica also achieve victory against this very side in the league by 3 goals to 1. That was Benfica playing from away on that occasion, and it has always been Benfica who had a better victory against this very side, seeing that the last 7 head-to-head meetings that we have record here have always seen Benfica winning and winning. Okay, they actually won on 5 occasions, and the other 2 being a draw. Farense have never won against Benfica in the last 7 meetings, so it is their way side to win out shortly on that occasion. That's what we expect. And the next game that we have for you is actually in Turkey League, where we have Besiktas who will be up against the Kasimpasa. Okay, Besiktas in the last 6 games have had 3 victories, but have also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And the away side, Kasimpasa, also a very good side, have won 1 game, they've lost 3, and they've had 2 losses in the last 10, in the last 6 games that they had so far. And looking at how these two teams fare from home and away perspective, Besiktas have actually won 7 games in the last 10 home matches that they had, and they've lost 2 out of it, and they've had 1 draw as well. So that tells you that 70% of the home matches have managed to win for Besiktas. And the away side, Kasimpasa, have actually won 4 matches in the last 10 away games, and they've had 3 draws and also 3 losses in the last 10 away games. All right, and this very much, and you look at how they fared from head-to-head perspective. The last time they met, it was Kasimpasa who won. Playing from home, they won the Besiktas on that occasion by 2-1. That was in May of this year, and we also saw Kasimpasa beating this very side in January of this year by 3-1. And last year we saw Besiktas beating them by 5-2. All right, so the last 5 head-to-head meetings for both sides have resulted to loss of goals, a minimum of 2.5 occurring in all of those meetings. And actually in the last 10 head-to-head meetings, it has actually seen over 2.5 on 8 occasions, and out of 10. So in this very one, we expect to see a minimum of 3 goals appearing in this very game. So it is an over 2.5. That's what we expect for that very encounter. All right, that takes us to the next. Okay, that concludes actually the ticket for the second ticket for today. But we also have a bonus match, and it is in Russia. Actually, Zenit St. Petersburg coming up against the AMSI Mashashkala, and in this very one, we expect to see Zenit achieving victory in this very one. Seeing that Zenit has actually won 5 matches in the last 6 games. So Mashashkala have not seen a victory in the last 6 matches, but they've lost 3 and they have 3 draws. So in this very one, it is the home side to win outrightly. Zenit to win. That's what we expect. All right, that concludes our predictions for you today on Betcraft. Tomorrow is another wonderful day. Also remember to play responsibly. These are football games, and it can happen. Just as we saw yesterday, Monaco losing out. Didn't expect that. All right. That being said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll come up with our predictions on this very channel. But until then, keep winning.